This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Almost for the entirety of my life, basketball has been the most predictable of the sports because it has a measurement system that doesn't allow for as many random results in a 7-game series. But I think now, more than ever, because of the combination of the three-pointer and everyone during the regular season doing everything they can just to be maximum healthy by the time the playoffs get here, I think you have the possibility of more randomness in professional basketball than you have had at any point in my lifetime. When I'm looking at the Eastern Conference...
We should fix that. Maybe swallow.
When I'm looking at the Eastern Conference, I see 4 teams that have a legitimate chance. I don't know what to do with Philadelphia because I don't know if Joel Embiid is going to play in a 7-game series, all 7 games. But you have Boston, Detroit, the Knicks, and the Cavs, and only one of those teams is trusted, and Jason Tatum is now returning to that team. I don't think anybody trusts Detroit. I don't think anybody trusts the Knicks, and I don't think anybody trusts the Cavs. And James Harden, while I like that as an addition, I think I can make the argument that right now in sports, more than anyone else, James Harden represents the guy you trust the least anywhere in the playoffs, any sport. Give me who's second place right now when I say to you, who's got the reputation of a playoff choker? So you've got Cleveland coming after Boston, which has already won the championship and has Jason Tatum returning. And the big move is we've got Harden now, the least trusted postseason player there is anywhere in sports.
It's not to the level of Harden, but I think Lamar Jackson's kind of in that territory.
That is a good one. Yeah, that is a good one. We got into this conversation a little bit last week, which is, you can maybe make a case when he was in Philadelphia. I know he had the bad elimination game, but it was really Harden reveling in that it didn't have to be just him. And here at this stage in his career, less so. The expectations are you're one of the worst playoff performers of all time when you consider your reputation entering it. This is kind of, and when you consider the market, this is kind of a low-stakes deal for James Harden. He may actually flourish in this type of scenario.
I'm not a Harden guy. Obviously, I don't want to count on him in the playoffs. But to me, this was a grand slam trade for the Cavaliers. And mainly because they got him for nothing. Like the guy that they traded for, I understand he's younger. Garland never plays. He's hardly played this year. He was in street clothes all of last year's postseason watching the Pacers roll through his team. He finally made his debut with the Clippers last night. So to me, they added Harden for nothing. That's a massive positive.
Right, and their roster is constructed in such a way that, hey, if you do have that slump in the playoffs, Jalen Tyson, get him. Hey, Donovan Mitchell, you move over there. Hey, Dennis Schroeder, MVP of Germany right now. Hey, why don't you give it a shot? They have very minimal weaknesses on that roster as constructed, so I believe in them more than I should.
And the acquisition, Trista, was made to kind of combat the issues that the Knicks have been giving them. I know we don't have a huge sample of Harden matching up against the Knicks, but so far, so good.
Yeah, I like Harden as a playmaker, and I like the way that he's elevated Jared Allen. I know that we're all in on Black History Month, Jared Allen, and how elite he's been, and I think he raises the ceiling for Evan Mobley as well. But this team, outside of maybe Keon Ellis, is pretty damn soft. I just want to know what happens when we punch the Cavs in the mouth, and we'll see what happens.
Did Jared Allen, one of the times that the Knicks took out the Cavs, and the Cavs had all sorts of frontline problems with the Knicks, Jared Allen did not play. Since Harden got there, every time I look up in the first quarter, Jared Allen has 6 for 7, and I assume that it's just dunks, that he's just getting alley-oops off of dunks that Harden and Mitchell are creating.
And even though he's not reputed to be this real tough, hard-nosed player, the way that Harden gets buckets with his big frame, that's toughness on
and
the
foul baiting.
Yeah, in on the basketball court. And honestly, defensively, I'd look up in some fourth quarters. There was one game he had 4 blocks. He's a big dude, and against the likes of Jalen Brunson on a switch, he can use his size. He's actually helping them.
Last night was a bad basketball night, but maybe you noticed that Boston, without Jaylen Brown, went back to Milwaukee, and with Milwaukee having Antetokounmpo back, beat them by 30. I don't know why anybody would pick anyone other than Boston with Jason Tatum returning. The last time I saw Jason Tatum not be hurt and playing for the Celtics regularly, didn't they win 65 games that season?
They did, but they also were embarrassed by the New York Knickerbockers in the playoffs for their toughness.
Yeah. Don't let the revisionist history tell you that they would have won that had Tatum not gotten hurt, because they were on their way out.
Yeah, I think the thing, if you look at this version of the Celtics, it's just a masterclass from Joe Mazzulla and the coaching staff. The ball is popping around, moving, spacing. Everything looks really good regardless of getting rid of Kristaps Porzingis, getting rid of Drew Holiday, et cetera, et cetera.
But that's where I'm saying what I think is like the most obvious thing. Yes, the ball movement, the crisp ball movement. Like you insert Jason Tatum into this, and I know he's of the system, he knows it, but he plays a different game than they're playing right now. So I do think that there's going to be an acclimation period, and I don't like that this is being positioned as a hot take. I think it's the most obvious thing in the world that it might take them 10 games to figure the reintroduction of Tatum out into their lineup.
Probably with the news that Tatum is likely returning this week, the Celtics are now, according to DraftKings Sportsbook, the odds-on favorite to win the Eastern
You guys
Conference.
are underestimating how good this team has been. It's them and OKC, top 5 offense, top 5 defense, scoring margin. Like, you guys, to trust James Harden and Cleveland as the thing that can knock out something that's been that formidable, you guys are really hating on the Celtics in a way that's not empirically accurate.
I trust Boston to reach the finals, but nobody thinks they're going to win in a West-weighted league right now.
I think they could.
Yeah?
You've got OKC with injuries. I think that's the biggest question mark. So if OKC ends up, I don't know, facing an Aaron Gordon healthy Denver team, and maybe you've got injury issues with that team, they're very thin as well. I could see OKC getting knocked out a little bit early. You see all of the different things that have been going on with Jalen Williams, Isaiah Hartenstein, Alex Caruso. They've been, and obviously Shai Gilgeous-Alexander missed a bunch of time too. So say they get knocked out by Denver. Denver maybe gets knocked out by Minnesota. I mean, depending on how the standings in the table fall. But I could see absolutely Boston coming in and playing a Spurs team or a Denver team with a creaky Aaron Gordon hamstring, and they could mess around and win the whole thing in a year that was supposed to be a gap year. We never know how the West is going to shake out, especially how deep they are.
I don't think we know how the East is going to shake out. Right now, we're in the stretch of NBA history that is the most unpredictable. Look at the recent champions. And while I understand Dan's conviction, he has always been bullish on the Boston Celtics. I heard this for a full season, and then they lost to the Knicks. You take that tier of 4 teams over there, and I think it's anybody's ball game at this point.
Right, and remember, all James Harden has to do is be better than a turf-toed Darius Garland in the playoffs and tie the damn Jerome. Like, bruh, I think he can handle that.
So what you guys are doing, though, that ignores all of the math of all of basketball, 80 seasons, 2,000 teams. There have been like 3 that win the way Boston does on the road by margins this large. And you guys are arguing, as you argue, they got James Harden now. Oh, but bringing back Tatum, that's bad.
They lost to
that's the argument you guys are making.
They lost to a worse Knicks team than are in any of the clumps that we're talking about right now.
Tatum got hurt. I'm not disagreeing with you that the Knicks, you trust the Knicks at your own risk. You go ahead and trust the Knicks. If you want to do that, I'm looking at 80 NBA seasons. I'm looking at 2,000 teams, and OKC and Boston are 2 of them. I think there have been like 3 all time who win this way on the road by not small margins. They just went to Milwaukee and won by 30.
Yes, the key word, Milwaukee. But remember, they're a jump shooting team, and when they go cold, those jump shots go cold in the playoffs, they keep shooting them. That's their kryptonite. It's not that we know how good they are, but they won't drive the ball to the hole when it matters. You feel me?
I would also just add, when it comes to Boston, this isn't the same Celtic team that's been competing for championships the last couple seasons.
You say that. It's not Drew Holiday and it's not Porzingis, but it is a team. You cannot argue that what you've seen from them right now without Tatum doesn't impress you, because I remember the way they got eliminated last year. I'm like, are you guys sure that if they lose Tatum, they don't just become as good as the Pacers. They don't just fall. If Jaylen Brown, you talk about that 10-game transition. If I give them 10 more games to run it all through Jaylen Brown, I don't think they lose I don't think they lose like that to the Knicks or Indiana. I think that what they have left has shown you this season. You're giving Mazzulla the credit. I'm looking at a top 5 offensive and defensive rating from a bunch of spare parts that they've put together that are clearly better than we thought they were, because we're sitting here talking about Tatum and Jaylen Brown all the time as if Derek White isn't often their best player.
And Neemias Queta was discarded by Sacramento, and he's been freaking awesome. I mean, you're just looking at a coaching staff that I think in the East is the best in the business.
They're very awesome, but just let's not sleep on Detroit's toughness. Let's not sleep on whenever the lights are brightest in New York, what they do. So as good as the Celtics, I'm a Celtics guy. I just see my team and I know their inefficiencies.
Over the last 15 games, the Knicks are the best defense in the league. I don't know what kind of samples you guys like to use with this stuff, and I think it's tricky because the samples during the regular season don't matter because everyone is just trying to get to the postseason healthy. Everyone is sort of like tapping the brakes during the season, so that I really do think that if this thing you're talking about with the threes and how the Celtics take them, this season should be predictable. Jason Tatum should come back, and the way OKC and Boston play when they're healthy, it should easily be Boston and OKC, because you don't often get top 5 offensive and defensive ratings. But I think the thing that throws everything into upheaval is what Juju's talking about. If everyone's taking 53s and on one of the days they only make 9 of them, you're going to get what James Harden's Houston team had against Golden State when they lost a Game 7 at home because they couldn't make any of their 44 threes.
I think Jaylen Brown has proved, though, that he can put his head down and get to the rack. I'm still very worried about, if I'm rooting for the Knicks, picking on Karl Anthony Towns and picking on Jalen Brunson and just putting them in hell and targeting them defensively like we saw teams do against Luka. Like, you have 2 really bad defenders on this team. You also have Karl Anthony Towns taking the least amount of shots in his career, least amount of minutes, and I think that's a big problem as well. Yeah, like top defensive rating in the last 15 games, but what were they to start the season? This is a very roller coastery team. I also just don't trust Mike Brown. Like, I don't trust him at all.
That's a big one. And in this stretch of 15 games, yeah, been impressive, but the Cavs roster construction gave him problems.
She's trusting Mazzulla, though. She's sitting
well, you are too. And like I like their team better when they lost to the Knicks. And yes, the ball movement, like I said, they run it through Jaylen Brown. Who can stop them? There is one guy. He's on their team. The call's coming from inside the house. That's a guy that can mucky everything up. Did I say mucky? I'll leave.
Also, before you leave, remember they blew 20-point leads.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes for leaking confidence.
Wow.
I was right at the threshold of too much basketball.
The wrong word, too. I know that you felt.
Wow.
you I didn't watch Karl Anthony Towns. I saw Karl Anthony Towns. I saw that Wembanyama had one of the worst statistical games of his life with Karl Anthony Towns bothering him. I'm asking with a question mark because I didn't see the game. Was Karl Anthony Towns doing something to Wembanyama that made him look like that when they played against the Knicks?
Absolutely not. He was just missing shots, and they were on an 11-game win streak.
Sunday afternoon.
You dig it? Early game from San Antonio. That's like 10 a.m. there. They were destined to lose that game.
You know about that time difference?
You know about that west to east?
People always talk about New Year's resolutions, eat better, work out more, etc., etc. We might still be early in 2026, but I'm sure most of you have already broken your resolutions. Me, I'm still going. My resolutions are simple. Be comfortable, especially at the rink. If you know me, you know that hockey isn't just something I watch, it's something I live. Late nights, cold arenas, long playoff runs, you're on your feet a lot. And if your socks aren't right, you feel it badly. That's why I've been rocking Bombas sports socks. They're cushioned exactly where you need it. Sweat wicking, supportive, basically built for movement. Whether I'm at the game, skating a little myself, or pacing around during overtime like I somehow affect the outcome, they keep me locked in and comfortable. And when I finally get home to break down everything that happened on the ice, Bombas has the everyday stuff too. Slippers, tees, underwear, all ridiculously soft. It's the kind of comfort you don't think about because you don't have to. Head to bombas.com/Dan and use code DAN for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/DAN. Code DAN.
Hey, it's Mike Ryan, and I want to talk to you about the random midweek hang that you have with your friends. Maybe it's an NBA game. You get a text, hey, come over, you want to watch the game? And maybe you're like, I don't know. I kind of just wanted to stay home. And then you think about it. After your buddy hits you up, and you know just the thing that'll make that regular hang, that regular midweek hang around the basketball game into a special time, into a Miller time. That's right, this happened to me just last week. I grabbed a 6-pack of Miller Lite, said I was on my way, and next thing you know, we're arguing about rotations like we're on the coaching staff, yelling about a missed call, and the game's coming down to the final possession. It was one of those nights that you look around, you take a sip, and you think, yeah, this was the right call. And my friendship's stronger for it. Cheers to legendary moments with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Don Le Batard.
What do I got here? I got a Magnum condom. We won't get that out.
That's shocking.
Stugotz.
Here's a picture of Christopher when he was like 3 years old.
Right next to the condom.
Yeah.
As a subtle reminder.
Never forget. This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Time difference between San Antonio and New York, or
just in general?
Okay, yeah.
Don't fact check me there. I was just doing. My pants.
I don't actually know what that is. It an hour difference between San Antonio? I always
Sounds right.
The Central Time Zone always gives me some problems.
Yeah.
Texas,
1 or 2 hours.
Mountain, I never understand. I don't even think that's a real thing.
That's the tricky one.
That's not even real.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Trickier time zone, mountain or central?
Like, is mountain only if I'm on a mountain?
Right.
Like, how does that work?
I always thought it'd be weird to live right where the demarcation line is. Like, it's 3 p.m. here, but if you walk across the street,
That has
it's 4
to be the
p.m.
case.
I can go to
someplace,
lunch
right?
an hour earlier.
Am I one time and my neighbor is a different time?
That's crazy.
All over the
That
country.
has to be the case,
I know, right?
It's like that in Columbus, Georgia. It's like a short drive to Alabama, so the time changes like right there. It's crazy.
I mean, Alabama shouldn't be a different time. Like, I don't think Alabama feels like it's from a different time.
We have parts in Florida that are in the different time zone. It's nuts.
What parts are those?
In Pensacola.
Yeah. When I've made the drive to like Gulf Shores, Alabama, and I get into Central Time around Panama City.
The Greg Cote Show featuring Greg Cote has an update on catchphrases and also a conversation that will not surprise you. I believe ground zero on our looks like game is former Utah coach Jerry Sloan looks like he washes his hair with a bar of soap. I believe that was the very first of the looks like. It might have been that, or Vlade Divac looks like he plays smoking a cigarette.
Yes.
It's one or the other. I don't remember what started it, but I learned from the most recent episode of the Greg Cote Show featuring Greg Cote that he doesn't want anything in the shower with him to clean himself other than a bar of soap.
And my hand.
Now, you
Hey, yo.
Exactly. We spend way too much time on it on this episode.
We really do.
For those of you who are new to the Greg Cote hygiene experience, he often takes a bath shampooing his hair in the pool.
After a round of golf.
In the swimming pool.
Right.
Yes, Juju, that is the correct way to react to that. It is foul beyond reason.
I wouldn't say often, but certainly occasionally.
Do you keep
As
a bottle of
most people
shampoo outside?
When I'm about to do it, yeah.
No, he brings it outside. I
I
didn't
put the
understand
bottle
your
of
question.
shampoo. I almost say
That's a hard
champagne.
question.
You did
So
say
you go
champagne.
to the shower to get the shampoo,
Yes, right.
and take it to the
Zaz
plug.
was asking if you leave one permanently out by the
Oh, no, I don't.
He bypasses the correct place to shower in favor of the place with chlorine in his hair.
We've all done that.
No, this is not true. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Have you ever used shampoo in the swimming pool on your hair. I don't believe we've all done that.
I tell you what, the swimming pool gets the shampoo out of your hair a lot quicker than the shower does. I go dunk, whip my head back, and we're done. It's great. It's fantastic.
It's neither great nor fantastic.
And the chlorine takes care of all the bubbles. They all disappear.
What?
No harm, no foul. Nobody knows.
It is both harmful and foul.
No,
it's both.
not either.
It is. Everyone listening to this is like that. That's not that you're not clean after that. You're covered in chlorine. That's
chlorine is a cleansing product.
Yeah, for bath tile. For not for your hair.
So we ended up talking about the full shower experience, and we ended up in the nether regions, in which my dad said he goes straight bar of soap, and he forms over time. The bar takes a different shape. He said it.
Look, I'm anti-sponge. I'm anti-loofah. What's left?
Washcloth.
Rags.
No, I use my hand. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I don't believe in a washcloth.
Credit card? You usually soap up the wrist and go credit card? What's happening here?
We've covered some of this before on Two Americas. The washcloth. You can't
go ahead, say it.
You can't go hand there. You can't.
No, I'm with Greg. It's got to make a sound. That's how you know it's working.
Well, Chris Cote, I don't know if you guys saw what he was pantomiming with his hand, but
he said it on the show that he formed the soap over time. It starts as a normal bar and it forms.
Well, of course.
Over weeks.
The sharp edges are rounded, and then it becomes easier and easier to soap up your hand.
You cup your hand, you force a little air pocket in there. That's how you know the soap gets everywhere.
I mean, nothing gets there like the hand, I'll tell you that.
How does it scrub you
Quite the visual.
without any nubs?
I just know what I know. I mean, I don't want to go into great detail.
How does it get in there without any fingers?
Well, the hand,
No, I was defending you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank you.
Greg, how many times do you think you're going to say today, I know what I know, and have it be something that no one else knows?
Okay, I'm providing exclusive information.
What are your catchphrases this week on the Greg Cote
What numbers
Show
are we on?
featuring,
Oh, boy.
I think it's 33 and 34.
We're on 34 and 33 in that order. We go from high to low. Started at 50, we'll go all the way to 1.
All right, let's do them all here from 50 to 33, shall we? Number 50.
I am fuller than Vern Fuller.
49.
Where's my click, click?
48.
Hey, Butterfinger.
47.
Hunt.
46.
Scranton.
45.
I'm busier than a one-armed paper hanger.
44.
Georgia.
43.
I'm the kind of guy that
42.
ball on the jack.
That's what you're doing in the shower. 41.
Hey, hey, with the monkeys, baby.
40.
Thank you, Billy.
39.
I love him like a pet.
38.
Who made it a salad? You asked for it.
Who did make it?
I'd forgotten about that one. So just to be clear on that one, is that an old Italian waiter? Who's saying who made it a salad? What is saying that?
It's when I say it, I picture myself as Chef Boyardee.
But he says it a lot when someone's not even making a salad.
Right. If a salad is in proximity, it's appropriate. Who made it a salad?
When you say Chef Boyardee, I saw another good looks like for Zaslow. I don't know whether it would make the tournament or how highly ranked it would be, but that Zaslow looks like someone who, when he makes a mistake, says, uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
That is a tournament team, I can confirm. And we can announce we are bringing back Looks Like Tournament this year.
Zaslow's got a few so far.
Yes.
Out of work, down on his luck mime. Zaslow's got a few. 37.
We're rolling now, huh?
36.
Your brain beating me.
You stole that from former University of Miami and Miami Dolphins offensive coordinator Gary Stevens, didn't you?
But I made it my own.
That's stolen. That's not even your catchphrase.
A lot of these originate from other people.
Yeah. Well, look, there's a certain Mr. Parmalee that's going to pop up during the proceedings that I'm sure was taken.
It's possible.
So there are 2 Gary Stevens in your top 50? There are 2 you've
He
stolen?
doesn't know yet.
Yeah, I can't reveal that.
35?
Literally can't reveal it.
Let's go States.
That killed at the club during the celebration.
Thank you. I appreciate you shouting it out like that.
34.
Driver comfort is paramount.
Any road trip the Cody's go on, Dad, can you turn the air down? Driver comfort is paramount.
Indeed it is.
So after Where's My Click Click, later in the trip.
Right.
So many of these are things that appear on long car rides.
Yeah, I don't know about many, but some of them.
Stay tuned for the Traveling Goats.
You would think that this was clumped in with Me Maximum, that would cover you when you're driving.
They are related.
Me Maximum's in the hotel room when you want to leave the TV on for longer than he wants.
Yeah, if you're doing etymology, deep dive into this list, the etymology is that driver comfort is paramount and Me Maximum are in the same neighborhood, parking in the same garage, as Damashek would say.
So, Mike, I appreciate that you just fell out of screen because I'm assuming that you're enjoying the same way I do. When you go to the depths of Greg Cote's narcissism and ask him questions about the things that he cares about, which are a precious few, like his catchphrases, you saw how...
It's a sincerity.
Yes. You saw how he was like,
they're related.
Thank you.
And this is important.
Thank you for asking. And here,
they are related.
Totally.
I'm not making it up.
Sometimes you throw me.
Number 33.
Dummy up.
Man, I love this countdown. I have like tickets waiting to see if they're going to cash like top 25.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm a big Bernie Parmalee guy. I'm a big Rubber Tree Plant guy.
Okay, they're all in the mix.
So Dummy Up is your best one of all those.
Dummy Up, we were kind of debating on what it is. To me, Dummy Up has always been like, hey, pay attention here. I've used that in this room. If like people are talking back here and Dan's like, hey, go and hey, dummy up. It's more of like, hey, get ready here.
But of all those phrases, Dummy Up is clearly your best one.
The egregious mistake that Zaslow's making is thinking these are in any order whatsoever. Like I know that they're numerical, but
I've caught on to that.
It's just when he
they are a numerical.
Every week he's like, hey, I thought of another one. I just added. I'm like, that's not how top 50.
He's gonna get to number 1, and there are gonna be like 7 that we want to hear that aren't gonna be in his top 50.
The quality's gonna grow.
Once a week, you're texting me that you added a new one to the list.
List maker comfort is paramount.
So you're telling me when this list is done, you may get to number 1, which for all intents and purposes on a top 50, number 1 is the best.
Should be.
But you're telling me we can get to number 1 and you'll look back and like number 20-something's actually your best.
I don't think that's going to happen. No, because
you're not sure though.
Once again, it's a sincerity for me.
You know what? There's a little serendipity involved here. I mean, it's not an exact science. You know, catchphrases
but
come in and
it's
out of
also
fashion.
not. It's not respecting the way every other numerical list throughout time has worked. You are not
like top 50 basketball players of all time.
That
They're
is
not just throwing a good one at 32.
You just gave us 17, all of which are better than the one that you're saying is the best numerically.
Look, there's a lot of different scenarios. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, like any top 50 list, you know, you got Karl Malone ranked higher than I do. You know, you got Dummy Up ranked lower than me.
I like Dummy Up. It's a
But
good
we
one.
know that Malone is going to be like somewhere, you know,
Not
near
on the
top.
list. Not on the list. Karl Malone does not make the list.
Top 50?
There is one list.
We
you should make.
cannot put and it yeah.
Okay.
Let's not talk about that.
We
are a country at war.
She brought us here.
We are a country at war.
She brought us here. We weren't talking about that with Karl Malone. Next thing, he doesn't even know what we're talking about with Karl Malone.
I don't even know what list this is.
I just used a random name of a good player who's maybe not that good. I don't know.
And can't be near schools.
I don't know.
He doesn't know anything about that.
I don't.
He doesn't. Tristan,
I believe him.
He doesn't know.
I'll show you during the break. It's wild. And then I'll show you this Jimmy Kimmel thing.
Don Le Batard.
Quiet man.
Yes.
You know, I'm a married man. I don't cheat on my wife, despite that gratuitous line back in my day.
Stugotz.
I wish you were here, my wife. I really miss her. No, I don't. That's the thing about being married. You know, you're not allowed to say, I don't miss my wife. I've been gone 2 days. I haven't been gone long enough to miss my wife. I'm sorry. I call her. I'm on the phone with her for 30 seconds. You know, what am I? Hello. All right. We'll see ya. All right. And then, I'm going to see her in 2 days. How's Jumpin' Charlie? Good.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Zaslow, when we mentioned tickets, I thought of you because of how desperately you want to go see Metallica and aren't going to be able to.
I'm risking my health potentially to go see Metallica.
Because the Sphere is where it is that they're playing. You say that bothers your vertigo.
I assume it will, yeah.
But are you going to be able to get tickets? Because I don't think you're going to be able to get tickets.
Oh, no, I mean, look, you can always get tickets. There's no such thing as sold out for anything anymore. It's just a matter of how much you want to play. So, you can always get tickets. But yesterday, so Metallica's doing a residency at Sphere in October. I was just in Vegas. I refused to go see anything at Sphere because I suffer from vertigo. And you know what? For people who don't know what vertigo is, I'm not going to sit here and say that I wouldn't wish vertigo on my worst enemy. I don't understand people who say that they wouldn't wish something on their worst enemy. I would definitely want my worst enemy to have something terrible happen to them. So I'm not going to say I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I would wish it on my worst enemy. But just trust me when I tell you, vertigo's bad.
It's just sincerity for me.
Also, my mom has vertigo, so I definitely understand.
It's awful. But I'm not going to say I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I probably would, all right? They're my enemy. But anyway, I didn't go to Sphere because I suffer from vertigo. But Metallica is doing a residency in October at Sphere. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I take my boys, the Zaslow men. We go see Metallica at Sphere. That's probably going to be pretty awesome.
Sounds expensive.
Yeah.
I thought Unrivaled was too rich for your blood, but Metallica, there's no expensive ticket that's too expensive for you.
We pick
with
and
the
choose.
boys.
Yeah. We pick and choose what we want to spend our money on.
Sustained.
You're cheating on Pearl Jam is what you're doing.
Okay, no, I'm allowed to see other concerts, Greg.
No, you're not.
All right, I don't know what logic you're using, but I signed online to Ticketmaster yesterday.
He had no time for it.
I signed online to Ticketmaster yesterday. It's the pre-sale yesterday. I laugh in the face of your pre-sales. I get all the pre-sale codes. And so I sign on yesterday. At the way it is for high-demand shows on Ticketmaster, you go in like a queue, You join the waiting room. You go on a queue. And it'll tell you how many people are ahead of you, and the number will slowly dwindle down, and then you get into the room where you could pick your tickets.
I did it a few weeks ago. I was like 3,000.
Well, give this, okay? I entered the queue yesterday for the Metallica pre-sale. Dan, you will see I posted this on Twitter. There were a few people ahead of me in the queue. Would you like to tell the audio audience how many people the queue is saying are in front of me in line?
305,360.
305,000 people, which you have to assume some of these people, if not all of them, are going to try and purchase 2 tickets. So 700. Now, this isn't for like any of the 8 shows. This is for one specific show. 700,000 tickets.
610,000, but okay, yes, close
Whatever.
enough.
350 he was doing. Yes.
Consumer protections are overrated.
600,000 tickets are going to be purchased before I have an opportunity here to snag a pair of nosebleeds.
There's a way to skip that line. It's called the aftermarket. Just reach into your wallet, pull out some big bills, problem solved.
Well, yeah, that's what it's going to come down to. So
yeah, more money usually solves problems.
So
this is coming from the guy that gets lied to about how much tickets cost from his wife.
Well, but she always buys good seats.
He also splits Q-cups.
Dan, what is that? 305,000 people are in front of me?
It's a legendary band playing a venue that everybody would want to watch a legendary band.
And most of those things are not human. That's how this works these days.
That too.
Those are all bots.
Well, you mentioned the residency in Las Vegas, and it ties to a conversation we were having yesterday about Floyd Mayweather going broke and how it is that you could possibly go broke when you're making that much money. It made us think about Bruno Mars and his residency, where, can you guys look up some of the details that are being reported, where it seems like Bruno Mars has such a large gambling issue that he performs to giant crowds and makes a lot of money, and then immediately loses it because he's gambling so much, because he's staying in Vegas and he's gambling in a way that's going through the money that he's making in his residency. There have been some allegations of markers.
There have, and they've been denied, but they've been denied conveniently by one of the establishments that would hold some of that debt and also hold the rights to his live acts that would seemingly pay it off. There's a whole internet theory, but we should say it's all hearsay.
Allegations and rumors. But if you can find for me whatever would be the most credible of those, because I now do a word association with Bruno Mars, and it's a strange word association for me to do, but the reason that I'm doing it is because if indeed you have a gambling problem, a residency in Las Vegas where you're being paid a ton of money to do something, and then you can just go to the casino and run through it because you're allowed to call a pit boss over and say, hey, extend me whatever the line of credit is. I heard Dana White tell one of these drunk gambling stories where the guy, the casino floor is calling him and telling him that he lost $300,000 or $400,000 more than he thought he lost the night before because he had so much to drink that he doesn't remember.
And now there is precedent for this. The Baz Luhrmann Elvis movie kind of covered this a little bit. Now, it wasn't Elvis's personal gambling debt, but it was the Colonel's. And it was a lot. It was like, I researched it, it would be up to $146 million today. They estimate what the Colonel's gambling debts were, that Elvis was stuck in a bad residency deal, essentially paying off the debt for his manager.
I thought of that sort of in reverse with whatever it is that happened with Ohtani. I don't think we still have the details on that, but that's somebody that's gambling.
That went away quick.
It did go away.
The world moves at a very fast pace. I'm still trying to get over, did you even say thank you? The world has left us behind. Keeps moving.
Ohtani, though, that it could have been the biggest gambling scandal ever, and instead we're sniffing around Terry Rozier. And Jonte Porter has reappeared somewhere. Is he playing in Seattle in some sort of strange basketball league? Jonte Porter has made a return engagement. I should tell all of you, by the way, to check out what it is that Pablo Torre has been doing recently, where he continues to be way out in front of everybody on the details on anything related to a number of things, but also that gambling story where he's just got a lot of sources, and I assume that people with the FBI or investigators are checking with Pablo on things because he's got so many sources on this that he continues to reveal more and more information. And I told you he's going to be at the Sloan Conference this week doing something with David Sampson and Amin Al-Hassan, and I would assume that he's got something special planned for the people of Sloan, because that right there is Pablo in his maximum element. That I cannot imagine. He did something with Roy Wood Jr. here this week live, and he's doing some live stuff. Pablo at Sloan with Sampson and Amin, my guess is that he's going to surprise people with whatever it is that he makes.
And that's the kind of crowd that Pablo is an absolute rock star for. Were you there when R.C. Buford walked the halls? That was a moment in time.
I got a text the other day from people in Pablo's world telling me that he had won an award. I'm like, what award is that? I don't know that award. I still don't know that award. But here is Pablo accepting yet another podcasting award.
When Dan Le Batard asked me if I wanted to start a podcast, and I said, that feels like a thing a person of my age and demographic should do. I said that I wanted to start a newsroom. And that is kind of what the answer to that very kind question and introduction and summary is. I do it with people who really care about journalism, even if sports feels like the cheese you melt on the broccoli of journalism. And so my producer Matt, our whole staff, we do this also at the expense of our personal lives. And so on that note, happy 6th birthday to my daughter Violet. And thank you to the Academy.
Sean Penn wasn't there to pick up his SAG award. He could have said no.
What are the Ambies?
Thank you to the Academy was a line.
Do we know what the Ambies are? I don't know what they are. Can you guys give me just some...
They're their Oscars.
Yeah. I can't believe I haven't won one yet for my catchphrase countdown.
That's the Suey's, Chris.
Dummy up?
Dummy up.
Number 33.
Yeah.
In no particular order.
But here's a surprise for you if you listen to my podcast. We had my brother, Uncle Dick, on the phone to talk about whether he had ever heard me say dummy up. And it reminded him of something I used to say when I was like 6 or 8 years old, which is not on the list, but is now a parenthetical adjunct to dummy up on the official list. So that's a little
A little uninteresting thing that you said to end this out.
a little nugget.